Hello everyone, I'm Edyta Sitar from Laundry Basket Quilts. Welcome to Quilting with Life. I am so thankful to you guys that you are so patient. We had a little bit technical difficulties, but we're on air right now and I can't wait to share all these wonderful things that I prepare for you. I know you're all just wanting to see this quilt behind me. Yes, this is our Tahoe quilt and this is just a quilt top. This weekend I'm going to be quilting this quilt because guess what? It's a secret. Next week is my daughter's wedding and this is her wedding quilt. So I am so excited. I finished the quilt, I'm working on the pattern and soon you'll be able to do this quilt too. And I have to tell you, I am blown away how easy and nice this quilt went together. There are 24 diamonds to make this quilt. 24 diamonds. Don't worry, I will have the pattern. We're gonna do a little YouTube video so that way you can do this quilt and have some fun with it. This quilt is made with our collection called Bluebird, and we have talked about that collection a little bit, and maybe today you help me pick the backing for my quilt, but that's in the end of the show. I'm gonna show you some options that I'm thinking about it, and then I would love your input. Tell me which backing I should use for this beautiful quilt. What else did I prepare for you? On my table, I have the newest kits that we have from our Bluebird collection. So we have some wonderful, wonderful things. Trip around the world. This is this kit right now. The pattern is right here. It is wonderful. You will not believe it. Everything is organized. You have a color coordinated. The numbers are right on it. This pattern will be amazing for anyone that wanted to play with fabric and create a wonderful shades of blue through this quilt. This is gonna be the next one. I'm gonna be finishing and working on it. Then another quilt that I have, another kit, it's the Lily Bear, and I finished mine, is on the table. As soon as we move all these goodies, I'm gonna lift the quilt and show it off to you. It is amazing. This quilt can be made with our gorgeous jelly roll from Bluebird, and guess what? I'm not kidding you. This just came off the truck. Just a few minutes before we start up the show, we had truck come in with our beautiful pre-cuts. So you can either get a kit, everything is in a kit. If you do not want to cut your own strips, you just get one of those gorgeous jelly rolls from Bluebird. You need 2 backgrounds and you can make that beautiful little bear quilt. It was easy. There are only 2 blocks in a quilt and I'm gonna show you the blocks when I show you the quilt. So the pre-cuts that we got were our jelly rolls. We have beautiful fat 8s for our Bluebird collection. Look at this nice selection. It's really soft, really, really nice. And then we have charm packs. And you wonder, what can you make with a charm pack? You know, guys, that we have a free pattern on our website. Let me show you. This pattern calls Ring Bear. And if you get some charm packs, that's all that you need to make a beautiful quilt like this. This one is from our Something Blue collection, but I can tell you, I cannot wait to make this design with this beautiful fabric from Bluebird. I think it's gonna be perfect. It's gonna be soft, it's gonna be delicate. I'm gonna get a little extra light to glow for my stars. I think this is going to be amazing. Another quilt that I can't wait to make in Bluebird is this gorgeous quilt. Whoop. And this is our Pinehurst. Isn't it beautiful? I think the softness, the light of the Bluebird collection is gonna be perfect in the Pinehurst quilt as well. But back to the kits that I have it on a table for you. On our website, you can find the Blue Jay Bay quilt, and this quilt can be done with a kit. We have those kits available on our website, or just by using the bundle, and we have fat quarter bundles available right now from Bluebird as well. So this one is another one. Oh, brand new kit we just added to the website is the Ocean Wave. Oh, this one is stunning. You've seen me making this quilt multiple times, and we do have a wonderful YouTube video how to do this block. This is another fun one. Let's don't forget our cabin fever, and we do have a kit for cabin fever. So if you want to make this quilt so easy, and this panel of stars is just wonderful. I use those stars on the back of my Bluebird quilt. Just wait, you're gonna love that. And the simplest and the most wonderful, our Willow Creek pattern, and the quilt is right here. Isn't that delightful? Simple, easy. You just cut strips, sew them, then make sure your quilt is nice and straight. For this quilt, the one advice that I have to give you is remember pin, pin, and pin. Pinning is so important because when you pull on those strips, things may be wavy a little bit for you, and we want to have a Willow Creek without any waves. We want it nice and slow and calm and delightful. So those are just few of the things, and I'm going to start taking them off the table because I want to show you the quilt that it's on the table. So we have talked about the charm packs. We have talked about our jelly rolls. We have a fat 8 bundles and fat quarter bundle. And be honest with you, you can't have it those 4 without my personal favorite, a layer cake. And a few days ago, I posted on our website and sent out a newsletter with one of my favorite patterns for layer cakes. It's the Stargazer. And many of you went and downloaded that pattern. If you have not yet, you must do it. And you have to try to make the quilt with the layer cakes. This is gonna be wonderful for you. So those are just a few that we have. Now, our half yards, we only have a few left of those, so don't be upset. If you want to have a half yard bundle, please go to our website at Laundry Basket Quilts and purchase those. Half yard bundle give you a little bit more room, and you can get multiple designs and quilts from that one. And I can hear you already. You wanted to know, do we going to have a kit for this quilt? Yes. Tahoe, we will have a kit. We also have a new quilt called Hibiscus. I'm finishing that pattern too. Please, please forgive me. Last few days have been crazy in our household because my daughter is getting married. I made a dress for her. I'm finishing her veil. I am so excited, and this quilt was priority to get it done. But even with so busy, I have made time to create one of the new kits, the laundry basket kit. This one has nothing to do with our Bluebird collection, but I think you're gonna love this one. You know, every month we're doing our Anna's basket block of the month, and many of you have enjoyed it. My favorite baskets from that block of the month are those baskets right here. And they're in laundry basket patterns. And what I did is I created a kit and a pattern with those big, beautiful, bulky, just gorgeous baskets. So easy to do it. The kit is amazing. It has everything you needed, all the shades of colors that I have in the original designs. And we have included also appliques. So when you open the package, there are appliques in it for already pre-cut with fusible webbing for you just to plop right into those baskets and have little flowers growing out of it. And I'm pretty sure some of you don't like the appliques. That's okay, you can do that quilt without the appliques. So look at all those wonderful, wonderful kits that we have from the tree around the world. Oh, and don't forget, we have our fat 8 bundles also packaged this way. We're gonna have those only for a little bit because we do them in-house. We wait for the other bundles to come in so that we can have them ahead for you. But those are just our fat 8 bundles. They are amazing. And I am moving forward because I want to show you this quilt and tell you all about it. I just finished it. I have to add a binding to it, and it's gonna go with me to the wedding because I not only made a quilt for my daughter Delphina for her wedding, but I made a quilt for her mother-in-law. I thought it would be nice to celebrate Delfina's new mother-in-law, so she will receive this quilt. I hope she will be surprised. So guys, keep a secret. Don't tell her about it. I hope she's not watching the show. If she is, yes, I made you a quilt. She is an amazing, amazing mother-in-law to my daughter Delfina, and I want to celebrate her. Before we go to the quilt, I ask you if you can please help me pick a backing for this quilt. So should I go dark on a backing? I mean, not dark, like a medium blue, or what do you think? And I'm drawn more towards these options. What do you think about these fabrics? And the first one on the top I chose because I think it's a fantastic idea. I did this few years ago for a friend of mine where I used the label fabric. This is our label fabric. Thinking of you, all these beautiful, beautiful labels. Do you see how nice they are? I'm thinking about putting that on the back of the quilt and have all the guests sign the quilt during the wedding party. What do you think? Should I go that route? So this is number one, okay? This is my personal favorite. This is just a light that I use in a background, and sometimes that's what is nice to do. When you have a light that you like it, use it in your background and then use it on the back. So this was another option. Of course, this gorgeous floral was another one that I absolutely love it. I think when you open this piece of fabric, you don't need to do much to it. Just sew together, use it on your back of the quilt, and it's just beautiful when it flips it over. Something smaller in a design, and it has a little cocoa into it, and I love how the brown makes the blue just warms up a little bit. So that was another option. Then I have this option right here with the beautiful lily flowers. So should I go for a small scale print, or should I do a larger flowers right here? What do you think? What do you think? I'm hoping that you're gonna help me. Or should I use this panel for the back of the quilt? I'm thinking I already did this one for this quilt, so maybe it's not the right option. Look at the back on this quilt. Isn't it beautiful? So easy. So little bear, I have the quilt front, and then I put the panel onto the back, and I have this gorgeous stars on the back of the quilt, and I matched up one of the edges so those little 9 patches just hit it right there. So when I put a binding, they're gonna be like scooping up from under the binding. I'm really, really excited about that. And they're only on one side of the quilt, only on the top, so that way when you roll the edge on the top, you have that little detail to it. So I used it on that quilt. So my thinking is I'm probably gonna do this, or let me pull this, or this one. What do you think? We also have the hexagon panels, the honey little hexagon panel, like a grandmother's garden. I could use that one. Oh, do you feel like this when you're in a store and you're trying to buy something and you see all these wonderful options? So I need your friendship. Think about it, and when we have questions, I need you to help me. But I promise you to tell you all about this quilt. How did I make this quilt? 2 blocks. So there is a block number 1. Let me find it. It's, oh, perfect. It's right here. So this is your block A. Do you see it? Can we have the camera right there? Yes. This is your block A, and then this right here is your block B. Look at all the light, just 4 patches in a corner, and here is I call it a 3 patch because you have the 3 blues. Once you connect the blocks, you have the secondary design, and I on purpose use 2 different lights, this light and this light, so that way this light gives me additional flowers just floating right through it. Oh, you have to open the pattern. So simple. I cannot even tell you how quickly I was able to do this quilt, and it's a nice big size, perfect for winter. And I use feather design to quilt it. It's edge to edge design, and I just absolutely love this one, and I used it on this quilt. So I hope you are gonna have as much fun with the Bluebird collection as I'm having it. Look at all those beautiful, beautiful pieces of fabric. You can really enjoy it and use in many different designs. And please be patient. Yes, I will have this pattern done soon for you. This is my goal, and yes, we will have kits. Now I'm going to go into questions from Erin, from you guys. Erin, do you have any question, any suggestion on my backing for my quilt?
So I think it's a toss-up between the top one of the blue stack
Yes.
and then the labels.
Really? Guys, I love this
floral.
idea. Ooh, go darker blue. This may be a nice idea, especially, you know, with such a light front on the quilt. Having a darker blue, you're stealing my heart. I love that. I love that. Yeah, I like it even better than the one that I picked. I do like the labels, so maybe combining both, doing maybe the labels through a side or the middle of the quilt. I'm gonna work on that. I'm gonna share with you how to do it. Keep leaving comments and make sure you help me out to pick which one. I have it until this afternoon. This quilt has to go on a frame. I have to quilt it sometimes between today and tomorrow, binding on Sunday, and packing my suitcases to go on a way to see my daughter and celebrate her wedding, her and her wonderful, wonderful future husband. So we're so excited. Any other questions that we have?
Yes. Well, really quick, we just had a couple of questions. Can you just remind them of the names of the new quilt, the one hanging on the back and on the table?
So this quilt right here calls Tahoe, and this is a little bear. And we have a kit and we have a pattern for this one already on our website. So you can go into our website, and if you want to make this one, perfect. If you want a kit, grab the kit. If you want it, just grab the jelly roll and get your own background fabrics. You need 2 background fabrics, and I can check this for you quickly. Hold on 1 second. It is Little Bear. For Little Bear, you're gonna need 2 fabrics for the background. One of the fabric is 2.5 yards, and the other fabric, it is 3 5/8. So 2.5 and 3 5/8, those are your background fabrics that you needed. And I like the 2 different lights. I think no matter what you do, if you're gonna decide to make this quilt in more modern colors, you can do that. You can do a dark gray, light gray, all rainbow jelly roll from our olive branch, or our linen texture too. Wow, what a great idea. I maybe have to try that one. Can you imagine have that rainbow and 2 different shades of gray? I'm actually gonna color that and post it on my Instagram. So visit my Instagram for it. This is gonna be beautiful. So you could do that. The 2 different color background really gives a nice feel to the quilt, and I think it's gonna be beautiful. Any other questions?
Yes, a couple more questions. Any tips on traditional needle turn hand applique using like a flannel or a wool, something thicker?
Well, my tip for you is, if you're doing a needle turn, we have a really nice video called Da Da Da, and I showed you how I do needle turn applique in that one. When you're doing a needle turn, especially with the wool and the softer, with the wovens, with the softer fabrics, it's really nice because they're much more forgiving than something crisp and a little bit more stiff. But go to that video, enjoy it. For me, using a silk thread or Aurifil weight 50 thread is the 2 threads that I will use it. Why am I using silk thread? Because it hides my stitches and it looks amazing. So using a nice silk thread when you needle turn and applique, when you hand applique, make sure the most important part is don't cut your thread too long. Cut it nice and short, because as you're making the stitches and pulling through, the thread likes to twist and tie, and then the experience is not as pleasant. lesson. So night short, stitch, next thread, stitch, keep going. Go and watch that video on where I showed hand, machine, and fusible applique for you.
All right, we got 2 more questions.
Awesome.
One we had a few times today was, are you still planning on doing a seamstress pattern
Yes,
so long?
yes, we are. We're gonna do a seamstress quilt along. Please, please forgive me. We're shifting things after the wedding to start up the quilt along because I did not want to go to the wedding and I'm gonna be gone for a little bit. So we have to set up the flowers, we have to set up the tables. It's going to be amazing wedding in a garden. I will post some pictures for you guys, but I hope you forgive me. This is one in a lifetime that my daughter is getting married, and I decide I'm gonna shift our quilt along after I come back, so that way we don't have to stop in the middle. So that's why everything kind of moved to when I come back in the end of September. We're gonna kick in. We're gonna start by, I'm gonna post a video on basic 8-point star. That basic 8-point star will apply to this quilt and our seamstress quilt. And then we're gonna start our quilt along for seamstress. You guys going to love it. I am excited about it. I can't wait to quilt with you.
Last question. I had a couple of ladies just wondering once more, where can they get those new pre-cuts for Bluebird? Your jelly roll, layer cake.
Thank you for interest in those. All the brand new pre-cuts are already listed on our website, so go to laundrybasketquilts.com. We have the jelly rolls, we have the charm packs, fat quarters, fat eights, and layer cakes. And we are a very small business, so we have limited amount of them. So if you want to get it from us, go there today, visit our website, enjoy, and we are so thankful that you wanted to quilt with us and purchase the wonderful quilting things for your stash from our website. Very, very much appreciate. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. I'm going to be posting pictures as I'm quilting the quilt. I decide on edge to edge design. I'm not gonna custom quilt this one. I'm doing just beautiful overall quilting with feathers and loops. It looks like just a breath of fresh air coming onto the quilt. I'm gonna use hubs beddings on it, and stay tuned to see which backing I picked for my quilt. Happy quilting, and I hope to see you soon.